What do we think of the setup? I am in my tranquil space for a video which I'm really looking forward to. Today I want to talk about 7 lessons I am bringing into 2022. It's been a big old year, hasn't it? It has been a year of an awful lot of change. It's been a year of exploration for me. It's been a year of finding myself a little bit, I hate to admit it. But it's been a huge year of reflection. And today's video is pretty much an opportunity for me to share those moments of reflection with you and potentially share some top tips that you can take with you into 2022. Just for your knowledge, I am not one for New Year's resolutions, and I'm absolutely not one for setting like yearly goals or anything. I'm quite big on manifestation. I really enjoy making a vision board here and there, and I write myself a letter on New Year's Eve every year. But I never set resolutions because, quite frankly, they don't work for me. They never have, I don't think they ever will, and I get really disheartened when I don't succeed. So that's not what this is about. This is definitely an opportunity for me to just share some of those things I have found beneficial over the past year and those things that I will be bringing into the new year, that is 2022. How exciting! A new year. I find it a really weird concept. I feel like there is this expectation for everyone to just boom, new year, right, let's go. Kick ass, start the year, fresh mindset, fresh everything, get on with it. But actually, not much changes apart from a number. You're still continuing. You can say that it's a new chapter, which is a beautiful thing to do. But apart from that, to have that expectation of yourself, your whole mindset to change overnight is quite a significant shift. So never put too much pressure on yourself to hit the ground running when you start the new year. Let's kickstart this with lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 is a very personal one to me because it's something that I absolutely experienced last year, and that is the fear of starting is always worse than when you do it. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, let me share a personal story and my experience, and then we can talk a little bit about the lesson itself. Fear is an innate part of who we are. Flight or fight. We have an awful lot of actions that we will take if we experience a fearful situation, a situation that scares us, or a situation that makes us feel a little bit off kilter. There's another reason that we feel fear, and that is when we feel there might be judgment. Because we live in a society that is fueled by comparison. A society where everybody is doing something that we wish we were doing. We can compare ourselves against people's bodies, against people's jobs, against people's lifestyles. All of these things are comparable. I have had a dream of starting a YouTube channel for years. Literally years. As long as I can remember. And I never started because I was scared. I was so nervous and worried about what people were going to think. I honestly believe that if I wasn't scared of judgment, I would have started this years ago. But purely because I was so worried about what people would say and what people would think of me, I didn't start. And you know what the beautiful thing is now? I've started. People have been so supportive. I know that a few people will be talking behind my back and be like, oh my God, do you remember Isla from school? Look what she's doing now. How weird is that? And there's some people that I might have expected to be supportive that weren't, but that's actually okay, because when you're doing something that makes you happy, genuinely, it doesn't matter. I have realized that the fear of starting this channel was so much worse than starting it itself. And now I've started and I'm on this journey and I'm having so much fun and I'm building a community. I am so happy. It is pure. It's happiness in its purest form because I am doing something that is an innate part of myself and I am happy when I do it. So, What's the lesson? Well, fear, start, and judgment, okay? They are things that go hand in hand. But all I am saying is do not let that little voice in your mind that tells you that you are going to be judged stop you from achieving your dreams. There are things that we have a burning desire to do. We always will, because it's part of who we are. If there is something you have a burning desire to do, make it happen in 2022. If you want to, if it feels right for you. Or at least take a step. What is it that you want to do with your life? What is it you want to achieve as a person? Who are you? If you're scared that people are going to judge you, if you're scared of the outcome, don't let that stop you. Because I can assure you it will never be as bad as you first thought. So there we are. Lesson number 1 is the fear is always worse than reality. And I am so glad I learned that lesson, because I can tell you now there are so many things that are going to be happening that if I hadn't had this lesson, I probably would have been really scared. But now I am so excited for them to grow. Lesson number 2. Now, this is a huge passion point of mine. I talk about it all the time and I absolutely adore the concept. However, I'm very respectful of the fact that some people think it's a little bit up in the air and what does it actually mean? So, lesson number 2 is around finding your why. And in other terms, that means finding your purpose. What is purpose? What is this concept we speak of? The way I describe purpose is this derives from your values, your morals, and where you get energy. If you think about those 3 things, they are the things that build you as a human. So if you know something is morally correct, it will be in line with your values. If you do something in line with your values, you will feel fulfilled in that process. So when I think about purpose, it combines those 3 things and it builds something beautiful. I have been on a little bit of a journey with my purpose over the past year. And one of the things I realised is I joined a corporate company, and we are a purpose-driven organisation, and we speak every day about purpose, every single day. And when I first wrote my purpose, I was like, oh God, this has got quite a lot of business jargon. So we had words such as authentic communication, we had bold and purposeful, we had trustful relationships, we had reliable, we had, gosh, I can't even remember some of them, but authentic communication is one of the ones that I just think, ugh, authentic, that is so business, right? It is, isn't it? So I was speaking to a friend of mine and I said, look, I've got to somewhere with what I think is my purpose, and I really do believe that these are things that I stand for, because I do believe in strong communication. I believe in protecting my relationships with other people, and I believe in kind of, you know, my moral stance. But this doesn't feel like it works. And she opened a door for me, because she said, well, that's true, because what you're saying there is the outcome of you living your purpose. So through you living your purpose, you will have good communication, you will be bold, you will be purposeful, and you will build strong relationships, and you will be honest. That doesn't mean that's what you need to say is your purpose. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. So what did I decide to do? Well, luckily I have an incredible collection of friends and family that are very supportive of my wild and wacky ideas and support me when I'm going through these moments of changing my mind and all of this. And what I did was I asked all of my friends and family 3 words they would use to describe me. And my best friend Ella, she was really kind about me, but she also said that I'm quite lavish, because I have to admit I do love spending money. But what I realised is there was a direct correlation between the values I had picked out about myself and the values my friends shared about me. And that was a really big step. It's given me a bit of a tingle. It was a really big step, because it made me realise that actually it's not just how I see myself, but it's how others see me. And these are the things that people would miss about me if I was no longer here. So that got me somewhere. So what is my new purpose? My new purpose is to be a radiator of positive energy in order to make others smile. Got rid of the business jargon, didn't I? That feels so personal to me, I cannot even put into words. That is something that I know will stand true for the rest of my life. And what I've realised is every single life event you experience will change your purpose, it will change your why. And the reason for that is you grow and you develop and you enhance yourself. What doesn't change is the values that lie beneath it. My values have been the same since I was a child, and they always will be, because there are certain things that are a part of who I am. The way I describe them might be different, but the boundaries beneath them will always be there. So what am I trying to tell you with this story? Well, I believe in finding your why, you are giving yourself the opportunity to be completely true to who you are. There's no kind of beating around the bush anymore. For example, if you go in a situation and it's a difficult situation, but you come out of there and you're like, you know what? I was true to myself in there. I stood to my reason for being. I stood to my purpose. So actually, that's okay if it didn't go the way I expected it to, because I was true to me. You're doing yourself justice. If you went in there and you weren't true to yourself, you'd be doing yourself an injustice. Purpose and reason for being and finding your why is not about shying away from things. It's actually about facing into them and realizing what you are and who you are and why you do what you do. So maybe it's an opportunity for you all to reflect on, you know, why you're here. It sounds so deep, but it's part and parcel of life. I found it a very beneficial exercise. I think that it's allowed me to be quite bold, and I think it's allowed me to make decisions I may not have made before. So that is lesson number 2. Purpose and finding your why. It will open so many opportunities and doors. Lesson number 3 is about controlling the controllables. What do I mean by controlling the controllables? If there was one thing all of my friends would say about me is Isla is an overthinker. I worry about everything. I overthink every single little situation and I always think of the worst outcome. That has been really tricky over the past 2 years because my mind has gone into overdrive about everything. I've been speaking to my therapist quite a lot about this concept recently and thinking about actually there are so many things in life that you cannot control. So how do we manage that? How do we manage that behavior? And what I've realized is you have to put your energy into controlling the things that you can control, because then you feel like you've had a success. So, as we know, the world is ever changing, our life is ever changing, our situation, our relationships, our friendships, our family. Things come and go, we go through grief, we go through loss, we go through experiences that we might not expect. We go through significant change, both within ourselves, our work, our education potentially, our lifestyle and our environment. The thing that you can control is within. What I've realised is I can't control the situation. I potentially won't be able to control that situation ever in my life. But what I've learned to do is control how I feel about it. A lot of what I've been doing is actually acceptance. So I've allowed a feeling to sit with me for a little while, and then I've been able to say, okay, that's there, I understand, or I don't understand, but I'm okay with that. And then I can move on and continue with my day. And actually, in doing so, I'm giving myself a level of control back. And I tell you, the other thing I've done a lot of is making sure I do more of the things that I can control, because it makes me feel liberated. So lesson number 3 is all about ensuring you control the things that you can, because in life there will always be circumstances in which you have no control. And it's scary and it's worrying and you will overthink, potentially, if you're like me. But that's part of who we are as humans. We're built like that, right? We have emotions, we're scared, we're fearful. But actually we're strong, we're independent, we're tough cookies. So there's no way that we cannot get through these experiences. It's all about rewiring the brain a little bit to realise that you can focus on the things that you have control over. Lesson number 4 is a favourite one of mine. Originally, I had lesson number 4 as say yes more. And I still stand by that. This year, I want to say yes to every opportunity, because what I've realised is saying yes to things has brought so many opportunities in itself. But there is a twist to that, because I actually want to start saying no more, right? It's okay to say no to things. It's okay to not want to go and socialise. Goodness, I'll be completely honest, since everything that happened, my social battery has dropped so much. I have had to take time to reboot, re-energise and recoup myself. If we go back to the yes more piece though, let's think about it a little bit. We have one life. We have opportunities every single day to make that life exciting. We have had things stinted over the past few years that we may not have ever expected. Things changed so significantly that opportunities were taken away. I believe we're now in a time where we can start to make those opportunities again and have exciting experiences. And I know there's been times where I've said no to things that I should have said yes. So I'm going to become more of a yes man or a yes woman. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to take risks. I'm going to do things that make me a little bit nervous, and I'm going to make sure that they make me happy in the end. Because saying yes to things is the best way for you to experience new things that actually could become something incredible. So lesson number 4 is simple. Say yes more, but also don't be afraid to protect yourself. If saying no is what you need, then that's okay. Lesson number 5 was a bit of an epiphany for me. Lesson number 5 is around creating habits. It's more so around creating habits that suit you. What do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. Last year, I started going to the gym again. I was working out quite a lot, but I was following a program and I lost motivation so quickly. I wasn't inspired, I didn't enjoy it, I felt bored, I was just really de-energized, so I stopped working out. Towards the end of last year, I wrote my own program and I started going to yoga, and I combined the two things to make it more exciting. And what I've realized is there is something really, really important about making a habit that suits you. If you're not doing that habit for you, it's never going to last, even if you have the best intentions. I am so energized by my new workout routine. I get excited to go every day. I go 4 times a week. I get so excited in the morning. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's this workout. This is amazing. This is how much I went up last week. This is how much I want to do this week. This is great, right? Whereas previously, I felt sluggish. I didn't enjoy it. I was nervous. I just didn't feel motivated. I think there's a kind of switch to this as well, right? Because if you think about habits, what's so frustrating is negative habits are so hard to get rid of. I am so guilty of sitting on my phone and scrolling through TikTok. I can spend hours on that thing. It's so imaginative, it's incredible, but it wastes time at the same time. The other thing is really funny is creating a positive habit is so difficult to do. I wish it was the other way around. But the lesson here is, if you are creating a habit that suits you, my God, you'll be able to do it. If you're creating a habit because of someone else or because of something else, it's never gonna last. That has to come from within. Your habit making has to come from within. It has to be something you want. You really, really want. Part of the reason I don't really make goals, if I'm completely honest, because I know that those goals, I'm making them because I feel like I have to. I'm not making them because I want to. For me, if I want to make a goal, that could come on a Tuesday, random Tuesday in March. It doesn't have to come on the 1st of January. So what I'm saying here is, with lesson number 5, this is all about creating habits that are for you. Nobody else. All about you. Lesson number 6 is a really interesting one. So you'll remember I mentioned earlier I was speaking about my purpose and being a radiator of positive energy. One of the things that comes with that is ensuring that I'm not radiating energy for the wrong people. Because in radiating energy for the wrong people, I am lacking it for myself. So lesson number 6 is about investing time in people who reciprocate your energy. We go through life and things happen and we experience things, and you generally start off in life with a big group of friends at school, and then you move on in life and things might change. What you'll realise as you grow up, and I've genuinely experienced this very recently, is friendship groups shrink, friends shrink. You will just not have as many friends as you used to, and that's okay. But also you get to a point where You need to be spending your time with radiators, not drains. And sadly, there are people in life, there are situations in life, and there are experiences where people, experiences, and situations will drain you. And you can't let that happen because it becomes a negative situation for you. So what am I doing about this? Well, I am so well aware of the people that I am not bringing into 2021, and I genuinely wish them nothing but the best because there are no hard feelings in those situations. All I know is our path in life has shifted a little bit, and that's okay. There's still a huge amount of care there. There's still a huge amount of love, but we're just not in each other's lives as we used to be. What's really interesting is I've spoken to quite a few of my friends about this recently, and they've been through similar things. I think what's happened over the past few years is people have had to invest time in specific parts of their lives to keep themselves sane, and actually friendships are one of those things that have depreciated a little bit. Investing time in the right people is important. You are who you spend your time with. You become who you spend your time with. So spend more time with yourself and you'll get to know yourself better, right? I think for me, this next year is about really spending time with those people who reciprocate my energy, but also investing more time in myself, listening to what I need, because actually sometimes what you need is time on your own. And time on your own is really important because it allows you to reflect and think differently and not have anyone else's input. Because we know how bad it can be when you have someone else's input and it completely changes your mind, but actually you know that what you believe is what you need to do. So, lesson number 6 is very much around making sure you are investing your time and energy into those who reciprocate your energy, and also investing time in you. Lesson number 7. This is my favorite lesson of all, and it's the easiest lesson ever, but it's so important. Have fun. I mean it. From the bottom of my heart, have fun. Life is short. We are given this opportunity to create something for ourselves. We are given an opportunity to flourish. We are given an opportunity to make mistakes. We're given an opportunity to create experiences for ourselves that other people might not have because that's not on their list of things to do. We are given an opportunity to be true to ourselves. You know, I always think about this. The biggest strength you have is there is only one of you. So make that one of you someone to remember. And imagine if the way people remember is, she was always having a good time. She was always having a good time. He was the one who was the life of the party. Have fun. Whatever fun looks like for you, make the most of your life. I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because the amount of things that we have all experienced over the past few years, you know, this storm that we have been in different ships has changed things for people. And I'm so aware of that. But I, myself, am in a situation now where I want to make the most of everything. I want to just have fun in every single situation. And I would love for you to have the same energy as you go into 2022. So, lesson number 7 and the final lesson of the day is have fun. Genuinely, please have every ounce of fun that you can have. It's so important. It fuels you. You will feel it within you. Have fun. So there we have it, 7 lessons that I am bringing into 2022. I really hope that you have gained something from this video. This has been such a big, huge opportunity for me to reflect over the past year, and it's been so beneficial. We have to remember that, right, we are such busy people. We have so much going on that it's really difficult to take the time to just think. And this has given me that opportunity to just sit and think about what I want to do, who I aspire to be, why I do what I do, and the things that have changed for me in the past year. I really do hope that you find some benefit from this video. This isn't me being some sort of coach or anything in that realm, because I am not qualified. This is me sharing my experiences and my lessons from the past year. I hope you have an absolutely incredible week wherever you are. I hope you are well, and I will see you so soon. Lots of love.